this is my review of One Punch Man. Okay, so the Monster Association has declared a challenge to the Hero Association. They at first claimed that they want a ceasefire and want humans and monsters to coexist, and one of the executives falls for it and is immediately killed by destructive chloridium. So after which Gyoro immediately confesses his real plan, which is that they have 3 days to rescue the hostage they've taken, and after that they'll kill the hostage. So now the Hero Association has to consider its next move, and immediately after that, Gyoro ejects from his little drone thing that Destructor Chloridium was holding, and delivers a message to the Monster Association about how the main reason they captured the hostage is to use him as bait so they can lure in all the more powerful heroes and kill them before finishing off all the weaker ones and reigning supreme over everything. And when some of the monsters object to this, saying that they just were in it to destroy the Hero Association, Orochi brings the point home by eating a wakened cockroach who had showed up and had his legs stolen and was defeated and showed weakness. So clearly the Monster Association has a very strict no weakness policy, apparently. But yeah. I needed to clean my glasses, I am sorry. But anyway, the message from the Monster Association spreads like wildfire, and both heroes and monsters alike begin to consider their next move. The monsters try to go join the Monster Association, but are instantly killed by Saitama because they live in because the Monster Association is holed up in the abandoned part of town where he lives, and obviously he knows about it and is kind of on patrol there to keep an eye out for monsters. So yeah. And also a bunch of civilians find out about this and are concerned, and everybody's trying to figure out a way to infiltrate the Monster Association and rescue the hostage, except for Metal Knight, who just wants to bomb the whole place to hell and say screw the hostage. But yeah, Metal Knight isn't the best dude to be doing this hero work, apparently. I mean, we kind of already knew that. He was just like he's basically Iron Man if Iron Man was an asshole and didn't care. So basically that's his whole character. He's good, but he's a chaotic force of good. He only really cares about his own he only cares about the development of his own weapons and all of that. Meanwhile, Garo, fresh off of his fight with King, escapes and goes back to his hideout to recuperate and rethink his strategy, but is spotted by Death Gatling, who then recruits 7 other heroes to come and kick Garo's ass with him so that they can bring him in. And Terrio, the little boy that Garo has been palling around with, was told by his friends to go get him out, but then Garo insists that Terrio becomes stronger so that he isn't pushed around all the time, which he was kind of pushed into going and getting Garo out of the shack despite him not wanting to. And later when the heroes show up and tell them that there's a monster in the shack, they just leave. They don't care about Terrio. Terrio's in the shack, possibly with a monster, and they just leave, presuming that the heroes will handle it. Garo, realizing he's been surrounded, borrows Terrio's almanac one last time and uses it to try and figure out the weaknesses for all the heroes that there are. And there are 8 in total, and he looks them up in like a fraction of an instant before coming out and battling them all 1 against 8. And despite being pushed to his absolute limit and having poison arrows jabbed into his backside, he's doing okay against them. He's keeping up surprisingly well, despite the fact that it's 8 against 1 and he's injured. So yeah, Garo is no slouch. He could easily handle a lot of the heroes that that the Hero Association sends against them, except for the ones that have like actual superpowers or super weapons, like I don't know, Tornado or Metal Knight. He could probably get his ass handed to him by one of those heroes, and that they didn't send anybody. They just sent this a full group of 8 heroes. So, yeah. And also, we find out at the beginning of the episode that not only is King still a god at playing video games and is kicking Saitama's ass left and right with video games, but apparently the Hero Association has been sending out little special PDAs that are supposed to be used to alert somebody if the heroes need backup. And while not in widespread use yet, I mean, as far as we know, only the S-class heroes have them. They are surprisingly effective, as one apparently does go off while under the events of the hero hunt raid thing. But we also do find out a bit more about Dr. Kuseno, about how he kind of empathizes with Genos' whole idea of justice for the sake of justice but he also points out that when he was Genos' age, he was just as rash and knows better than anybody that Genos shouldn't run in full force against an enemy, he says while repairing Genos and reminding him to be careful. So, yeah, so clearly Dr. Kuseno, there's a reason Dr. Kuseno helped out Genos. He sees a little bit of himself in Genos, but also realizes that Genos can be a bit rash at his age, and is trying to steer him away from the reckless ideal of joining the top 10 S-class heroes that Saitama gave him so many episodes ago. So, it's clear that not only is Garo kind of on his last legs, Ontario is starting to suspect that he might not be the best person to be taking advice from. But we've also find out that now they have only 3 days to rescue the hostage, or the hostage dies. And it's all a trap, because now the Monster Association is preparing for them and bringing in their strongest monsters. So it's clear that things are going to get real in probably not this season, but definitely by the beginning or middle of the second season. Because, well, not the second season, but the season after this one, season 3, whatever it's called. But yeah, season 2 is almost over, guys. There's only like 12 episodes, and we're on episode 10. So we're definitely nearing the end, and I know for a fact that it's probably not going to wrap by the end of these next 2 episodes. Because because the Monster Association arc is a huge arc. It'll easily cover the next 12 episodes of the series on its own, and then the fight with Garo happens at the end of season 3. Presumably, depending on how long it takes for them to actually get to season 3. But that's mainly it. So, yeah, it's clear that now the Monster Association is going to try and eliminate all the really powerful heroes so that they can focus on the weaker ones and eliminate the Hero Association, thereby asserting their dominance as the most powerful force on the planet. And apparently they're also starting to figure out that Saitama's a thing, because now they've seen that Saitama easily defeated Koketsu, because now they've realized that Koketsu is dead. So now now things are starting to come together, and I'm assuming it's going to come to a head at some point or another. Because I've seen parts of the manga up to this point, so I have an idea of where the story's going, but there's not everything has been made into the manga yet, so we'll see where the rest of this goes. But if you guys have seen this episode of One Punch Man, what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below to keep up to date with what's going on with the channel, and also other things that I decide to retweet on there. And also, check out my Patreon description below as well if you want to help support the channel. It's only a couple bucks a month, and it really helps me out. So I would definitely appreciate it if you did that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace! Closer look at the keychain. It's a little old, but you can tell it's been well loved. The concept of a violin playing bear is kind of cute, so the owner is presumably a girl. Violin. Now I think about it, how can I mention something about violence? Yeah, she said she heard someone playing violin in the music room after hours. That's right, you met someone in the music room, didn't you?